I'm Edward Warfield. I'm the publisher of Citybiz, and I'm honored today to interview Mark Fraser, who is the CEO and co-founder of National Advisors Group. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Can you provide an introduction to the National Advisors Group?
Sure. We are a national independent insurance agency. We service a broad range of customers, but we particularly have a lot of emphasis on the mass affluent, which we can talk about. We have basically the strengths of a traditional independent insurance agency, but we've really created a digital and data-powered agency. So we offer a highly personalized shopping experience, and happy to be here and tell you more about it.
So tell us a little bit how you're using technology to improve insurance coverage, and sort of what role does AI play in your offerings?
Well, we use technology in actually multiple ways. So from a marketing perspective, we target homeowners across the country, and we have certain characteristics that we target, whether it's home value, income, geography, some combination of those. On the sales side, we have a consultative sales process that we use so our advisors, can speak directly to customers, really understand everything about them. And we've incorporated that consultative sales approach into our digital customer experience. So our digital technology is created to really as closely resemble the type of interaction you would have between an experienced insurance advisor and an insurance shopper. So, similar to the way you would sit down with someone and provide a lot of information about yourself, we'll take information that's provided by the customer. We will augment it with third-party information that we access in real time, and then we'll use artificial intelligence and create a personalized, customized risk profile, and it's unique to every website user, and that all happens within just a matter of a couple seconds online. So again, it's really made to sort of mimic the way you would sit down with an experienced advisor. And then the only thing I'll add on the technology is, in addition, while this is all happening, there's a lot of what I guess I would call downside automation that happens. So we will, while this is all happening, a record of that person is set up in our CRM. We'll populate it with all the information that we just gained through the process I just described, and then we'll automatically assign each person to a specific pool of advisors, depending on whether it's geographic or if they have like a high value home, and we want them to go to certain advisors that specialize in what these customers need, and that all happens automatically.
And I guess that explains, maybe you can explain in greater detail what the personal risk assessment process is. You've got a 4-step approach, and what are those steps and the process?
So the 4 steps really are the same online and offline in a lot of ways. So it's similar to what I just described. So like I mentioned, our process is very consultative. So we want to sit with someone and really understand a lot about them. And again, that's done either through, speaking directly to one of our advisors on the phone or through our virtual agent online. The first step is really we just assess the coverage needs. So again, unlike some other companies, there's a lot of companies out there that you can go online and get a lot of quotes, and you'll get quotes across multiple carriers. And we do that too. But what we want to do is, rather than you choose, I want home insurance or I'm looking for auto insurance, we want to really understand everything about you that you will need in order to assess everything. So the assessment is first. Then the second thing is we'll explore the insurance market. So we have a lot of direct relationships with a lot of prominent carriers. We have several dozen direct relationships with carriers across the country. And then the third, and we'll do that, we'll look at the entire marketplace. The third step is we'll tailor a list of coverage recommendations. And then the fourth thing is we'll package it all up and present it to you. So again, the process is, I think, similar to what you would imagine it would be if you were sitting like in front of an agent, like the sort of more traditional insurance agency approach of sitting at sitting at a desk with someone or at a table with someone and going through everything. We can do that both on the phone as well as do it online automatically. And again, those 4 steps are really the same in our in that process for both online and offline.
So your career included 8 years as head of marketing at AIG. Can you tell us about some highlights from your career and the decision to launch the National Advisors Group?
Sure. So I came to AIG actually from a large direct marketing agency. So I had a lot of direct to consumer experience, some of which was already in insurance. But at AIG, our group really ran all direct to consumer activities across multiple product lines. And it expanded a lot throughout the years that I was there. But the largest area that we supported was AIG's private client group, which is their group that sells home, auto, and related products to high net worth individuals. And we had a lot of success there. We were able to build out what essentially was an in-house agency at AIG to sell to those people. So we really combined all the elements of a true direct-to-consumer infrastructure, but we also had very experienced agents who could sell to wealthy individuals, and the agents you need for that kind of business have to have a significant amount of experience. And again, while we were very successful, we felt, both myself and my co-founder, Victor Naraki, who was at AIG with me, we both felt that that there were limitations to the model, and that it might work better as an independent agency. So the limitations were, as a carrier, we could only sell our own products, and carriers, particularly high net worth ones, every carrier has their own underwriting criteria, and ours were, they're always very tight. They're sometimes ever changing, and we can only sell one carrier's products. So you have a lot of limitations. Second, we could only sell the lines of business we were selling. So when people wanted, were asking about life insurance or commercial insurance or things like that, we couldn't really help them the way we probably should have been in a position to help them. We had some restrictions because AIG is a high net worth carrier, so they have specific underwriting criteria and really only want to go after higher value homes. And we had plenty of people who still had what I think most people would say are pretty affluent people who have pretty expensive homes, but they were below the thresholds that we had there. So we were turning people away. Again, not the greatest business model if you're doing a lot of marketing and having people respond, and then you still have to turn them away. And then lastly, we felt that if we could do it as an independent agency, do it across multiple carriers, that there was a lot of technology we could bring. And essentially, we felt the business would be more efficient if we could build the technology that we've now built at National Advisors Group and are continuing to enhance over time.
And how is National Advisors Group marketing their products? What is the mix between digital, social, and traditional media?
It's definitely a mix of all the above. We're definitely doing, we have a lot of digital and direct marketing experience. Like I mentioned, I have a lot from AIG and as well as previous roles, as do a lot of the other people we have on board here. We do a lot of digital marketing across multiple digital channels, including a growing amount of social media marketing. But we also do some traditional marketing. We do traditional direct mail, although it's not really that traditional. It's very highly targeted, very data driven, actually in fairly small quantities. We're really targeting people who have intent to buy insurance, because a lot of times, particularly with homeowners insurance, which we really target on, people, even though they can shop while they're still within their term, oftentimes don't. Oftentimes we're really only looking at renewal. But there are ways to be able to target people who are, up for renewal. So we do that. In addition to direct to consumer marketing, though, we also distribute our products through a lot of other ways, and we're expanding those. So we have a lot of, because we myself and my co-founder worked at AIG for a number of years, we built a lot of relationships there that we still have to this day. And there are a lot of colleagues and former colleagues who are at different companies now, and we have very good referral relationships with several carriers. So in addition to having appointments with these carriers, we have taken that many steps further in some cases where the carriers will also be referring customers that they're not, that may not be a good fit for them. Or in some cases, we're even using our direct-to-consumer capabilities, both on the marketing and sales side, to actually do work on behalf of the customers and be able to almost white label things for them. So we're really utilizing all of our capabilities in order to bring customers to us and not just relying on direct-to-consumer.
So according to Crunchbase, National Advisors Group has raised $2.1 million in financing. Can you tell us about the history of your financing, and do you have the future plans for external financing?
So the 2.1 million was really private financing from some individual investors while we were starting out. So, I think of it as sort of multiple small seed rounds. We have gotten a larger investment since then. It's not yet shown up on Crunchbase. As we look to the future, we're definitely going to look to expand and try to bring on more capital to really fuel our growth. That may come from some of our existing investors or from new investors, or maybe some combination of those. We've hired a lot of people and continue to increase our team. We've bolstered our sales and marketing teams, and we're continuing to invest in our technology development. So, our future plans are we definitely are interested in talking to other companies right now about potentially investing. And again, it's all about fueling growth and keeping the momentum that we've built.
So I have a question. So, I've interviewed a few insurtech companies. Are you a hybrid, or are you a traditional brokerage, or would you consider yourself an insurtech company?
I mean, I think we consider ourselves an insurtech, but I think we've gone about it maybe a little bit differently. I think we always felt that having a traditional, to have basically the ability to directly sell to people, to essentially have the capabilities of a traditional agency as our foundation was very, very important. We didn't want to be just all technology and nothing on the back end. So I talked about our virtual agent technology that we have. That isn't going to work if we just leave it up to consumers to just do, just to figure out for themselves what kind of insurance that they need. And that's one of the things that we feel like is an opportunity for us, in that, most online insurance shopping experiences are really based on price. So we basically call them price-based insurance, shopping. We feel like ours is advice-based rather than price-based. So ours is about really understanding the person and really being able to provide expert advice on what they really need and what they should do. When people gain a certain amount of wealth and start to, grow their assets, as people naturally do, over their lifetime, their insurance doesn't keep up with that. And we really feel like we need to, and we really feel like we have an opportunity to help people. The mass affluent tend to be, underinsured at a far greater rate than anyone else. And a lot of times it's because they just, have, as they've accumulated more wealth, they haven't kept up with things. They, might have a certain amount of wealth and don't have an umbrella policy yet, because no one's there to explain to them what that is. And if so, how much of an umbrella policy they need to have, because that's not as simple as it might seem. So, we feel like we're an insurtech, but we've really had to build, like I said, that foundation first, and then layer the technology on it. That we feel like technology alone is not going to be enough, particularly for the groups of consumers that we're really targeting and that we're really trying to service.
And so what are the growth plans for National Advisors Group?
Well, we're definitely continuing. I mentioned that we're continuing to work on our virtual agent technology. You'll definitely see future enhancements of that coming out in the next few months. We are well into the development phase of some really exciting enhancements to that. So that'll be coming live, like I said, in just the next 2-3 months. Additionally, we're going to continue to invest in marketing. We're going to continue to invest in a lot of those other distribution channels that I talked about, different types of referrals, not just with carriers, but we actually have some referrals that we're working on, some referral arrangements with other brokers who we can find synergies with. So again, we feel like we can utilize our technology, we can utilize our direct-to-consumer experience, but we also have a lot of experience with and a lot of relationships within the insurance industry, and we really feel strongly that leveraging those can really help, or we can help us find the consumers that we feel like are the right customers for what we're trying to offer in the insurance industry. But we also feel like we can also help our partners, which is, I think, good for everybody. And it's basically an exciting time for us. We're excited about where we're at, but we're even more excited about the future and what we can bring to the industry.
So is there any part of the Mark Fraser or National Advisors Group story that you haven't shared with us that you'd like to share?
For me and for the company, I feel like we're really in the right place at the right time and where we want to be. it certainly has not been the easiest thing to start a company right before a global pandemic. But we're certainly not alone in that respect. So we feel like we've gotten to the point where we are with a lot of hard work and and a lot of flexibility over the last 18 to 20 months. But no, I mean we believe we're in a really good position, and that we have the right group of people leading this team. We're continuing to bring on and add to the team, but we feel like we're really well positioned to really grow significantly in the future and to make a big impact in the industry.
Well, Mark, I want to thank you for your time, and we wish you and National Advisors Group the best of luck on your entrepreneurial journey. Please keep us apprised with any big developments in the future. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Edwin. Appreciate it.